Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's Diego. Lots of people missed out on the last live stream, and some folks can't make it on our Sunday live stream. So I'm doing a surprise. Hello, surprise live stream. Questions and answers. Questions and answers on K1 visas, or any question you have for me. Come on, folks. Let's talk about K1 visas, March processing. Well, hey there, Cecil and Herma. Nice to see you. Good to see you. I'm doing a surprise live stream. People keep wanting to talk. Hey, Ariane, people want to talk about K1 visas. They can't wait till Sunday. So here we are on, what's today? Friday. I'm doing great, Pink Rose. I'm doing fantastic. Absolutely. How are you? Jadidia, a super chat. Thank you so much, Jadidia. I hope I mispronounced your name. Forgive me. Super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Everything, every dollar helps. Hey there, guys. Ariane, you want to ask me something? Come on, ask me a question. Lynn Lee, hi, Mr. Diego. We are March 6th, 2022. March 6th. Excellent. Ooh, you're close. You're on the finish line. Woohoo! Very close. Yep. I just saw someone from March that got approved 402 days. Yep. Absolutely. And I want to say thank you again for that super chat, Jedidita. Thank you so much. Mucho gracias. Let's see here. Mariam, hi Diego. I know the live just started, but I have a question. I make 14 an hour and I work 30 hours a week. Will that satisfy the 100% income requirement? Okay, it depends on how big your family is. Okay, the income requirement is based upon family. 2 people in your family, 3 people in your family, 4 people in your family. That's the big difference. If you got 2 people in your family, I'm sure that's fine. If you got 4 people in your family, I don't know. I'd have to do the math and figure it out for you, okay? Send me a message in Facebook or I'll figure it out for you and let you know, okay? So it all depends on how many people are in your family, and also if you live in Hawaii, if you live in Alaska, it's even you got to make more money if you live in Hawaii or Alaska. So there's a lot of variables in there. Okay. Pink Rose, I am good. Thanks a lot for every video and question you answer. Oh, I want to help you guys. We're gonna pull you over the finish line. We know this is a stressful process. And we know you're sick and tired of waiting and waiting and waiting. We understand. Karina is just got home from work. She's in Bogota, Colombia. She's at home. She just got home. She's cooking dinner. She says hi to everybody, okay? And let's see what kind of questions we have. It is for 2 people. Okay. 2 people, $14 an hour, $30. Let me see. I'm going to grab a calculator here. So $14 times 30. Now, have you worked times what? 30 hours a week times 4, 1680 times 12. Yeah, you're good. You should be good for the 100%. You're good for the 100%. Not for, I don't know about 125%. 2 people. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Let's see here. March 6th. Okay, let's see. September 7th, 2022. Okay. Hi, Diego. Please, after one is approved, how long does it take for MVC to send the case to the embassy? Well, it depends on the MVC workload, and it depends on the embassy. Like the embassy in Mexico City, Ciudad, okay, they got a longer lead time. So what the MVC does is they will hold on to the visa approval at the MVC until they know that the embassy is not going to be overburdened with work. Okay, so for example, an embassy in Nepal or an embassy, let's say, in a small country, Belgium, for example. They don't have much of a workload going on, so it'll be a quicker time frame. So it's average 4 weeks to 3 months. It all depends on the workload of the embassy. Okay. Okay, 2 people. Hi, Azar. Hey, hi, Azar. Good to see you. Mariam, thank you. No problem. Ariane for Kosovo. Kosovo, beautiful Kosovo. Okay, so there's not a huge workload at Kosovo, so you shouldn't have a long wait time. Just remember, you go each embassy is different. Do you have to schedule the embassy interview when you get your welcome letter from the NVC that your visa's been received, and they give you a case number? Then you have to figure out, is the embassy going to schedule the interview for you, or do you have to schedule the interview? You go online, you create an online account, you go into the SEAC system, and then you take a look and say, okay, here's my case number, punch it in there, and then you wait for the ready letter. You got to wait for when the case is ready before you can pay the visa fee and schedule your interview. Some embassies are different. The embassy in Turkey is different from the embassy in Bogota, Colombia. The embassy in Bogota, Colombia, I got to schedule the interview, or Karina. So, what I'm going to do is when I get my NOA2 letter, is I'm going to wait about a month, and I'm going to fly to Bogota, and then, handle it from there in country. I'll be 20 minutes away from the embassy. If they give me a hard time, I'll catch the bus and go knock on their door. Hey, Mr. Embassy, what's the deal? I'm an American citizen, got my passport, they'll let me in. But not everybody is as fortunate as I am in this case. Okay. So, every visa is different. I submitted so much stuff for our K1 visa package. It could take 15 months for our visa to get adjudicated because they have to scan everything, and you never know. There's stuff in my K1 visa package that may be different from somebody, with a very simple visa case. And remember, I'm on my second K1 visa, so there's things that the immigration folks have to dig through, before they can go to the next step to approve my second visa. And I understand. I don't blame them. Okay, it's just life. Kosovo. Yeah, Kosovo shouldn't be a problem. You guys would be fine. If you need help, I'll investigate the Kosovo embassy for you guys and see what's going on over there. Okay. Let's see. Esme, my case was received February 22nd, 2022. How much longer do I have to wait? Do we hear news? Okay. So your NOA1 letter is February 22nd, 2022. So K1 visas, depending on how much stuff you submitted, K1 visas are being adjudicated in 13 to 14 months. So February 2022 is February 2023 is 12 months, right? So March, April, you're at the finish line. You already should be hearing from the USCIS probably in the next week or so. If not, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? But you're very close. You're very close to the finish line, Esme. Okay, try to be patient. I know it's easy for me to say to be patient, but I'm in the same boat. Karina and I, we're both in the same boat as you guys. Everybody watching this, you all want to get your K1 visas, so we do too. We want to see you get your K1 visas and get on a plane and come to the USA. So, it's a process, that's for sure. And we're going to encourage you. You got to stay positive, okay? You can't think negative. Please, Diego, can you also investigate about the embassy in Abu Dhabi? Okay, I can do that. I practically don't know how they handle K1 visas and interviews, Abu Dhabi. Okay, well, let me do some research for you, and I will get in there and investigate Abu Dhabi. Azar, first letter 2202, July 29th, 2022. Yeah, July. So you got July to July 2023, August or September, Azar. August or September, you should be hearing from USCIS, okay? So be patient. Come on, guys. You got to be patient. And stay in touch with your beneficiary, with your fiance. Get on the phone, do the WhatsApp thing, get the Facebook thing going, Messenger. Keep in touch and keep chatting. Don't let your beneficiary, feel like, don't go a day without talking to her. Okay, because that's not good. Okay. Lucy May Torres, thank you for always updating us, sir. We appreciate you. Well, I appreciate Karina and we appreciate you too, Lucy, for watching the videos. We want to see you guys get through this process with as minimal stress as possible. Okay, keep the stress levels down. Keep the anxiety levels down. Stay positive. You guys, if your sponsor submitted a strong visa package, there's no errors in it. You got your NOA1 letter. That means that you made it to that point without any mistakes. Okay, you're good. It's just like our K1 visa package is going to be different from maybe your K1 visa package. Everybody's got a different profile. Okay. Mark K, the passport I submitted for the K1 visa will be expiring soon, and I'll have a new passport soon. Will this cause? No, you won't get an RFE. The passport that you submitted with your K1 visa package, the date on there, okay, was good when you sent it. Okay, no problem. Then when you go to your visa interview, when you benefit with your beneficiary, make sure you got an updated passport. Okay, now immigration is not going to send you a RFE if your passport expires, because they're the ones that are making all this time, right? They're making us wait a year for adjudication and passports expire. So no, just make sure you get a new one ready for the visa interview. Because when you go to the embassy in your beneficiary's country, that's when, actually the beneficiary's passport is one that really matters. The sponsor's passport, you can't be expired. But if your passport is expired, Mr. Sponsor, then you can't fly to your beneficiary's country to meet her and greet her and accompany her to the United States. But it's not going to block the visa. No. But the beneficiary has to have a valid visa. Now, there's one exception, and that is the country of Venezuela. If you are from the nation of Venezuela and your passport is expired, the State Department has extended Venezuelan passports by 5 years with agreement with the government that the U.S. government recognizes in Venezuela. Obviously, the U.S. government doesn't recognize the communist government of Mr. Maduro. They don't recognize him as a legitimate president, but they recognize the other guy, Mr. Guaida, and the legislature, and the Venezuelan government that is recognized by the U.S. government and the State Department have extended Venezuelan passports by 5 years. Okay, so if you are Venezuelan living in Venezuela, you're probably not watching this video in Venezuela. I don't know if that country has blocked YouTube. I don't know. But if you're outside of Venezuela and you have a Venezuelan passport that's expired, relax, guys. You can still get your K1 visa put in there. You can still fly into the United States on an expired Venezuelan passport. But if you are from any other country, make sure your beneficiary has a current passport with at least 6 months time left on it before expiration. And in Brazil, if you're from Brazil, you got to have at least 8 months time left. Okay? So food for thought. Danny, hi Diego. Thank you for all the videos. No problem, Danny. And thank you for watching. We're here for you guys. Azar, thank you, Diego, every day. Several times check in here looking for new videos. Positive. We're positive here. This is the positive channel. Now, if folks go into the remarks block in our channel, your channel, and start being negative and start being a Debbie Downer and start putting bad information out there, I'll delete the comment. Now, I'm a First Amendment guy. Okay, I support the First Amendment and your right to your opinion and your expression. But there's a point where, we got to keep the positivity up. And so I'll get rid of the comment, not because I'm trying to censor you. I'm not trying to do that at all. I just keep this channel positive. Okay, negativity creates negativity, which puts people into a bad feeling. Okay, this should be a positive, happy experience, not a negative, hate USCIS experience. Don't hate USCIS. They are doing their job, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, the COVID shut down the whole planet. Every embassy closed. Every the State Department shut down all the embassies around the world. But all the K-1 visas kept coming and coming and coming. So USCIS was behind like 60,000 plus visas. So they had to play catch up, you know. So please don't bash the immigration process. Please don't bash USCIS. They are not trying to block you from coming to the United States, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. They want you to come here. Okay? They want you to be here with your husband and your wife so you can start your family. They're not trying to block you, but they do have to follow the law. Okay? Lynn Lee, Mr. Diego, I think you skipped my last question. Okay, let me see. Okay, Lynn Lee, after the NOA2, about how long does it take to hear from the MVC? Okay, you will hear from the MVC between 4 weeks and 16 weeks. Okay, the MVC will send you an email. Okay, and they will email your beneficiary and your sponsor. You'll get a welcome letter. Once you get your NOA2 letter, once your visa's been approved by USCIS in California, Texas, Nebraska, wherever it is, within about 2 weeks, usually the average is 2 weeks, you'll get a welcome letter from the MVC, unless they're busy. Then it could be 4 weeks. And then the MVC will hold on to that approved visa package, put a case number on it, and then they're going to ship it by DHL courier on an airplane to the U.S. Embassy in your beneficiary's country. So, you know, I know you probably waited, 14 months, 12, 13, 14, 15 months to get your NOA2 letter. Now you're getting frustrated because you got to wait again for the USCIS to send it to the MVC. Then you've got to wait again for the MVC to send it to the embassy. Then you have to wait again for the embassy to, have a freed up time to get an interview. Okay. But you just got to be calm. And I mean, there are people today leaving on an airplane from countries all around the world to the United States with K-1 visas in their hand. There are people today on airplanes coming to the United States with K-1 visas in their passports. Okay. And some of these people have been waiting for 2 years. Think about that. When they got their K-1 visa, they submitted it during COVID. They've been waiting 2.5 years. We're lucky actually to be on the backside of this COVID. We're kind of lucky, really, even though it's still a long way. It's nowhere near as long as some people. Okay, so hang in there, guys. Let's see here. So does USCIS send the case to the closest embassy the beneficiary lives? No, Esme. The USCIS will send the visa package to the embassy that the sponsor wrote on page 3 of USCIS form I-129F. On USCIS form I-129F, there's a section in there that says, where is your beneficiary going to do her consular processing? That would be the embassy in his or her country. Okay, so USCIS will send the visa package the MVC will get the visa package from USCIS, and they will look at the address that the sponsor put on that document, USCIS form I-129F, and they will DHL mail the visa package to the embassy that your sponsor told them to send it to. Now, let's suppose we got folks in the Philippines, beautiful Philippines. There's people in the Philippines that go work in South Korea. They go work in Singapore. They go work overseas, okay, which is fine. So their sponsor will put the U.S. consulate in, let's say, Singapore. And then let's say that the lady in the Philippines then is working in Singapore, then returns back to the Philippines. The MVC will get it. Your sponsor better be proactive and start emailing the MVC and telling them, hey, my beneficiary is back in the Philippines, send the package to Manila. Don't send it to the embassy in Singapore. Do you understand what I'm saying? That happens sometimes, okay? So, it's best to, once if you better know where you're going to be doing your visa interview. Let's suppose you're from South Korea and you're living in Mexico. Your sponsor will then schedule your visa interview at the embassy in Mexico, either Mexico City or Sudan. Okay. My recommendation is do not leave that country, get it all wrapped up, get your visa and your passport, and then come to the United States. Okay. Hey Diego, your videos have been great to me while waiting for my approval. Well, Frank, we are waiting. You're waiting. Everybody's waiting, and we are going to keep you positive. Okay, we're going to keep everybody on the positive route to this process because the ultimate goal is the K1 visa. You will get the visa. Your beneficiary will get his or her visa. It's just it's just a process. Okay. And it's important that you don't have a negative feeling about USCIS. They're working hard, guys, to get your beneficiaries to the United States. We want you guys to come here. I can't wait for you to get here. I helped a young lady. She worked for a major airline company. Her husband was in South Africa, and she kept getting these blocks and loopholes and this and this and I helped her overcome all these obstacles because I have experience with this. And once she followed my direction, my advice, my recommendations, and now her husband is in the United States from South Africa. Fantastic, right? It's fantastic. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Kimani Young, I appreciate the work you do on the channel. It helps to make the wait positive. Yeah, it's a waiting game. The best way to get through it is to, number one, realize you're going to get your visa. You're going to get it. Number two, stay in touch with your sponsor. Okay. If you're in the Philippines, I know there's a big time difference between the United States and the Philippines. Makes it a little difficult, but tell your sponsor, wake up, get out of bed, come talk to me, get him up, call him up and chat. Keep in touch. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Diego. Should I contact USCIS before my recommended contact date? Or don't? Yeah. It's not going to affect you negatively. It's not going to affect your visa, okay, at all. But USCIS is going to ignore you. Remember, USCIS is busy, trying to get visas approved. If you contact them before they say you can contact them, they're not going to get mad at you because they know you're waiting for your visa, but they're going to probably ignore you. They won't respond. And then when you get to the point where you can contact them, you got to ask yourself, is it necessary? Is it really necessary to call them up? Or is it better just to wait through the process and know you're going to get your welcome letter soon? Okay, relax. Just relax. Be patient. It's hard. I know it's easy for me to say, but I'm in the same boat, guys. I'm patient. Let's see here. So my recommendation to James is no, don't contact USCIS. Don't do it. Your visa's good. You just got to wait out the time. Let's see. Christy, hi. We just sent our case to Texas. Okay, but got the confirmation letter from California. Yep, 93% of all K1 visas go to California. Now, I live in Florida. I live near Pensacola. Texas is right down, a couple of states over. And our case went to California. And when I got my NOA1 letter, I looked at it. It said WAC on the receipt number, which is California. I'm like, huh? Why did it go to California? That's crazy. No, most visas are going there. In my humble opinion, USCIS is consolidating all their K1 visa processing to California. They're trying to streamline the process. Ature, hello, Mr. Diego. Hello, Ature. James 1, got it. Thanks. I'll wait more. Your videos make it easier. Yeah, James, just wait it out. Just wait it out. I know it's easy and it's a difficult thing to do, to wait. I know you guys want to get on the phone and talk to a live human being at immigration, and then you get some kind of relief. Oh, I spoke to a person. I'm not being ignored. Okay, if you need to call somebody, call me. And I'll tell you this, I'll give you the same answer that the person at immigration is going to tell you. Okay? I'll help you through it. If you need to contact somebody, I'll respond to you. I'll respond to your questions. Let's leave USCIS alone to do their job, which is process your visas. Leave them alone. Let them get adjudicating. All they do is review. Okay. Do you provide your number? There you go. I'll give you my email address, and you can message me in Facebook if you want to send me a message in Facebook. You know, but you got to understand that it's just be patient. Just be patient. Yeah, email. My email address, I'll put it out there. I'll put my email address out there. I'll put my Facebook out there for you guys. I don't know if I have it written down somewhere. Well, on Sunday, I'm going to do another live stream. Okay, Sunday at 5 o'clock Central Time, I'll do another live stream. This is just a surprise live stream because people have so many questions. I figured I couldn't wait till Sunday. Okay. So yeah, I'll answer your questions. It's no problem. This is my second time around, guys. I've been through the K-1 visa process before in 2016. You know, it didn't work out. Okay, life goes on. Don't be a victim. Okay. Now you're allowed 2 K-1 visas. Congressional law and IMBRA law allows for 2 K-1 visas. So this is my second one. If this one doesn't work out, I'm done. But it will. This one, Karina is such a joy. You know, when I fly to Bogota, probably in the summer, I'll get Karina in. We'll do a live stream with Karina. How about that? That'll be good. Akua, live stream is wonderful. Well, I'm glad because I can answer questions more easier this way. Okay. Kimani Young, my sponsor is also in Florida. Fantastic. You're going to love it in Florida. Florida's hot, though. It gets hot in the summer. Woof. But hey, you know, maybe it's hot in your country where you live right now. Christy, yeah, your case went to Texas, but it went to California. That's okay. That's normal. Kamani, James 1, Mark K. You guys, you know, thanks for watching the channel because it's your YouTube channel. Okay. This is the second time I've been through this K-1 visa process. I can tell you, I waited longer on the first K-1 visa process than I did on this one. You know, it was not fun, let me tell you. Okay. And it wasn't the fault of immigration. Okay. So this is my second rodeo. So I've got years of experience processing the paperwork, going through this process, jumping through this hoop, fixing this process. I've been through it, been there, done that. Okay. Christy, yes, patience. We just submitted our I-129F in February 2023, and we're embracing the way, but it's hard. Okay. Well, let's talk about folks who submitted visas in February 2023. Christy Garcia. Okay. Immigration have hired 4,000 plus new people. This is the second quarter of the trainees learning their job. We don't want these new people messing up our visas, right? We want them to be fully trained. So before USCIS lets the new employees loose on processing your visas, they're going to go through a school to get trained on what to do. Okay, so they don't make any mistakes. These people are now being fed into the pipeline at USCIS, and you will see the result is more visas are now getting adjudicated and approved much quicker. So, Christy, I don't think you're going to be in a long, long wait for your K-1 visa to get adjudicated. Okay, I would say a maximum of a year, but probably less, but a maximum of a year at this point. And when people go into USCIS online and it says 16.5 months for adjudication, no. USCIS is telling you, please stop calling us on the phone. So we're going to put 16.5 months out there on their minimum, on their wait time to stop people from calling them. And then they're adjudicating visas in 14 months. Hey, Susie, how are you? Good to see you. Susie Galdames, nice to see you. And if USCIS say you can't call us until 16.5 months, that frees up the phone lines, right? That puts the phone lines to bed, and then they can get back in their office. Instead of talking on the phone, they can get back to processing visas, right? That's what we want. We want visas to get processed, not chit-chatting on the phone. Susie, I'm good. How about yourself? I am doing fantastic. Okay, I'm doing fantastic. My fiance Karina is at home. I have an apartment in Bogota, Colombia, and I have a place here in Florida. So right now I'm running 2 homes on 2 continents. So it's a little expensive, obviously, but that's part of the deal, right? It's part of the process. So I'm doing fantastic. Every day that passes is a day closer to getting this thing done and over with. Johnny Grand, 67. Hello, Diego. Hi, Johnny Grand. Susie, exactly. Stay positive, guys. Just think about this. There are people right now who haven't yet filed their K1 visa, and they haven't quite figured out if they want to do it, or they haven't done it, or they want to do it. And there's people out there who have filed K1 visas who are making stupid mistakes. They're forgetting to sign the Form I-129F. They're filing their K1 visa, but they haven't met their fiance within 2 years, in that 2-year time frame. They saw their fiance 3 years ago, and now they're filing their K1 visas, and then they're wondering why they're getting an RFE. You need to prove that you're within the physical presence of your fiance between this date and this date. And then a person will message me and say, well, Diego, I wasn't there. I haven't seen my fiance in 3 years. Well, then your visa's going to get denied. You got to follow the rules, guys. You just got to follow the rules. I was with Karina, 10 months? The first time I was with her for 1 month, and then I was with her a second time for 5 months. I came back to the United States and I filed the visa, K1 visa, like 3 days after I got back from Colombia. And, so the boarding passes on my plane tickets said April 14th, I believe, 2022. The boarding pass said April 14th, and I filed the visa April 15th. And April 18th, I got my NOA-1 letter. So immigration looks at my K1 visa package and they say, well, man, this guy was with his fiance for 5 months right before he filed the visa. He didn't wait 3 years before he was with her again. You just gotta follow the rules, guys. In your experience, do you need a lot of photos, or just having some photos of your time meeting is enough? Okay, here's the deal with photos, okay? Here's the deal with photos. Number 1, submit as many photos as you can. As many as you can. Number 2, make sure 80% of the photos that you submit are with your fiance, with her family and friends, okay? Immigration don't care about all the selfies that you send to USCIS in a photo lineup. Selfies, selfies, selfies. Immigration don't care about selfies. What they want to see is a real relationship with you and your beneficiary. How do you prove that? With photos. How do you prove that? With photos. You're with their family. You got photos with their friends. You got photos, everybody in your beneficiary's hometown who are friends with your beneficiary should know about your relationship with your American citizen sponsor. Okay, no secrets. Okay. Now on the photos, you got to make sure you put the date the photo was taken. You got to make sure you write down the names of the people in the photos, and you got to write down the location of the photo. So I was with Karina. We went to dinner in our favorite pizza restaurant in Bogota. We had a picture together. I was with Karina, her 2 brothers, her nephew, her niece, and her aunt from Venezuela. So when I included that picture, I put the names of everybody in the picture. I put where the picture was taken, Viva la Pizza in Bogota, central Bogota, Colombia, and the date I took the photo. Okay, very important. Photos with family and friends, the date the photo was taken, and the location the photo was taken, and who's in the picture. If you don't include that stuff, okay, immigration could send you an RFE. Okay, thanks for the pictures, but who are these people, and where was the picture taken, and on what day? Everybody got that? All right. So that's the experience with photos. So you could send 5 photos or 100 photos, but what's important in the photos is they are with the pictures are with you, your beneficiary, your sponsor, and her family and friends. That's what matters. Immigration don't care about the selfies, okay? They don't care. They know you've been together. They want to know, is the relationship real? Okay, let's see. Susie, I'm still waiting for the RFE letter from California. Okay, no problem. An RFE is no big deal. The first K-1 visa I submitted, I got an RFE. I just responded to it, and then they responded back, visas approved. Trapper Holly, would be nice if K-1 visa had an expedited process like some other visa types. Yeah, Trapper Holly, I agree. I do believe that. I believe that too. But here's the thing with that, okay? Here's the deal with that. USCIS don't want to create a perception that you are that the sponsor is buying the marriage, that he's not buying into the marriage. So they're trying to make sure that everybody's on a level playing field. Everybody's on a level playing field. You know, I would be more than happy to write a check for $2,000 to get my K-1 visa processed within 3 months. Okay, just an example. But then that person that wrote a check for $535 is going to feel angry or mad that I'm getting preferential treatment. So here's what I understand your point, but let's keep everybody on the same playing field, on the level playing field, and that just it makes the system it creates the system to be more legally sound. Okay, there's no favoritism from USCIS. So, but I don't disagree with you, Chopper Harley. Greg Santos, good luck. Pink Rose, hello Susie, do you send your RFE to USCIS, or are you waiting for their letter? Here's what happens with an RFE. Immigration, USCIS at the service center sends you a letter, says, look guys, you know, we need this information. This information's missing. We need for you to provide it. You find the information, you dig it up, you write a little cover letter explaining, sorry, Mr. Immigration, Miss Immigration, I made a mistake. I didn't include this. Put the cover letter on top of your cover letter, because immigration's going to send you a little green sheet or a blue sheet. I can't remember. When I got my RFE, I think it was on a green letter. Put this on top. If you don't put this on top, go to jail, go directly to jail, blah, blah, blah. So just follow the directions. An RFE is not a bad thing, okay? It's no big deal. It just, well, it is a big deal if you can't find the evidence. Let's suppose you get an RFE and an immigration asks you why we need evidence that you were in the physical presence of your beneficiary on this day to this day, and you weren't there, then your visa is dead in the water. It's going to be denied because you filed the visa without meeting your beneficiary in person, face-to-face, within the 2-year period. You got to follow the rules, and immigration will give you the benefit of the doubt. And if you can't overcome the benefit of the doubt, your visa gets denied, and you have to refile it. Okay, redo it. Okay, if you have kids already and filled out the K-1 visa, what happens? If you have kids already, okay, when you file USCIS form I-129F, if your beneficiary has any children, you have to include them in USCIS form I-129F, even if they're not going to be accompanying her or him to the United States. You still have to include them on the form. Okay, are your kids U.S. citizens? I don't fully understand the question. If you have kids already filled out the form, what happens? You have to tell USCIS if you, Miss Beneficiary, have kids, you have to include the kids' names on the form I-129F. It's called a K-2. It's basically a piggyback off the K-1. It's a K-2 visa, but it doesn't mean that the kids have to accompany you're a beneficiary to the United States. But you have to include them in the paperwork, so immigration knows, how many kids that your beneficiary has, whether they're coming to the United States with it or not. That immigration gives you that option. They don't have to, but they need to be on the form. Okay. I hope that answered the question, guys. Okay. Blessed, my K1 visa was received on March 10th. When do you think I will get my letter? The wait has been such a struggle. Okay. Blessed, don't let immigration roost in your head. Don't let them set up shop in your head. Don't let them camp out in your head. Okay. Number one. So don't stress this. Okay. Your K1 visa was received on March 10th. Now, so received at the MVC, received at the embassy, wherever it was received, you just got to wait and follow the directions. Okay. All of this stress and anxiety and all this struggle that you guys are experiencing, it's normal. But when your fiance steps off the plane at the airport in the USA, all this will be just past history. Everything will, all this stress and anxiety, you're going to look back and say, dang, why did I worry about that? Why did I worry about that? Don't become physically ill. Don't become stressed out by this whole process. Just be patient. That's the secret. Stay busy. If you don't stay busy, if you count days, you'll get sick. Okay? So be patient. March 2022, California Service Center. Okay. Johnny Grant, 67. Honest. Yeah, honesty is the best policy, guys, with immigration. Okay. Be honest. Now, I'm going through my second K1 visa process. So when I filled out my K1 visa paperwork for Karina, I had to include all in the past stuff I went through. I included copies of the past NOA1 letters, NOA2 letters from my past crash and burn. I included it in the K1 visa package so immigration can look at it and go, okay, this one didn't work out. Diego's being honest about it. He didn't try to hide it. It didn't work out. Here's the divorce decree finalized. Boom. He's legally free to marry Karina. Move on. We're going to approve the visa. Okay. So I had a lot of stuff I had to put together for my K1 visa package. It wasn't so simple, but I'm not stressing it. I'm not stressing it. Don't stress. Chopper Harley, Diego, are you flying with your future wife to the USA? Here's the deal, Chopper Harley. Here's what I'm going to do. When I get the NOA2 letter in my hand, it's going to say approved because I'm a positive person. It's going to say approved. And then I'm going to wait for a month because I know that it's going to take about a month to 3 months for the USCIS to get it to the MVC. I'm patient. I'm going to stay here making videos for you guys. I'll wait a month. Then I'll buy a plane ticket round trip to Bogota, Colombia. Now, I can only stay there for 3 months max. So I'll buy a round trip plane ticket for 3 months. And during that 3 months, I'm going to do my best to get all of this immigration stuff done, schedule the appointment, get her medical exam done, everything done in that period of time. Okay. Now, if that doesn't work out, because immigration is slow, because the U.S. Embassy in Bogota are slow, because they're working hard. Then I'm not saying they're slow because they're not working. They're slow because they're working. I will fly back to the United States, and then when Karina's face-to-face interview at the embassy in Bogota is finally scheduled, I will then fly back to Bogota, and this time the plane ticket will be for 2 weeks, not 3 months. I will get to Bogota. We will go to the embassy interview together because in Bogota I can accompany her to the embassy interview. We'll get her visa, put in her passport, her Venezuelan passport, and then we're going to say adios, hasta luego, ciao to all of her family and friends who live in Colombia, who escaped from Venezuela into Colombia. They live in Colombia too. Her brothers, her nephews, her nieces, everybody. Everybody got the heck out of Venezuela, and they all live in Bogota or other places. I will spend 2 weeks. I will spend 2 weeks in Colombia. I will buy Karina her plane ticket. to match my plane ticket back to the United States. And then if I can't match the day, if I can't get the exact day so we can fly together, I will cancel my plane ticket back to the United States, and then I will buy 2 new plane tickets, one for her, one for me, to make sure we're on the same plane and hopefully sitting next to each other, flying back to the United States. And what we'll do is we got a cat named Tokyo. Now, we cannot fly. There are U.S. airline companies are very finicky about flying with animals. They won't let us fly with Tokyo, our beloved cat. So we're going to fly on Avianca Airlines, which is a Colombian airline, from Bogota to Miami. So we can bring our cat. We're not going to abandon our cat to the streets of Colombia. We're bringing Tokyo with us. And then in Miami, we will fly. If we're not allowed to bring the cat on the plane, from Miami to Pensacola, then I'll rent a car. It's a 12-hour drive from Bogota from Bogota. It's a 12-hour drive from Miami to Pensacola, to where we live, close to where we live. So I'll just rent a car. There is a solution. There are no such things as problems. There are no problems in this YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. There are only solutions. All these companies, these American companies, these airline companies, oh no, you can't fly with your cat from Bogota to Miami. No, you can't fly with your cat. No, okay. We found an airline that lets us fly with our cat. Avianca. God bless Avianca Airlines. We're going to fly Avianca. When we get to Miami, oh no, you can't fly with the cat. No, you can't. Okay, I'll rent a car. Boom, problem solved. Okay, let's see here. So Chopper Holly, yeah, I'm going to accompany my fiance to the United States. I'm not going to let her battle the Miami immigration people, Homeland Security, Border Patrol by herself. I will be with her. Hey Diego, I didn't put proposal pics and didn't put engagement ring pics. Do you think that'll be an issue? No, not a problem. You don't have to put engagement pictures in there. Now, put an engagement ring in there is not mandatory. It does help the visa package, but it's not mandatory. So no, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're good as long as you wrote a letter of intent to get married, and as long as your fiance, your beneficiary, wrote a letter of intent to get married. You guys signed the letters of intent to get married. You have promised. You have sworn on a stack of Victoria's Secret catalogs that you promised that you are going to get married when you get to the United States. And you have lots of pictures together with her family and friends. You're good. You don't need a wedding ring a wedding ring. You don't need an engagement ring. Don't need it. But I recommend it. James 1, I've read some horror stories of people having their K-1 visas revoked at point of entry because the immigration officer didn't believe the beneficiary. Should we fly into liberal airport like LAX? No. Okay, you say you've read horror stories, but no, it's not going to happen. The only way the Border Patrol would prevent a K-1 visa applicant from entering the country is if he suspects that there's fraud in the visa process. So, you're going to go do a face-to-face. Your beneficiary will do a face-to-face interview, with the Border Patrol, Customs and Border Patrol. And 99% of the time it's good. You're allowed free passage. And then there's that 1% where, the immigration officer uncovers some fraud in the visa process. If he finds fraud, boom, you're not going to be allowed in. But no, it's relax, guys. This is a happy day, not an unhappy day. Chopper Harley, but you have to go separate immigration lines. No. Okay. When I was at Miami International Airport, I went up to Homeland Security guy and I said, Mr. Homeland Security guy, my fiance will be flying in here probably at the end of this year. And this sign says U.S. citizens this way, and this sign says green card holders this way. And the Homeland Security guy said to me, you can accompany your beneficiary if she has a K-1 visa, or if he has a K-1 visa in his hand, he or she can accompany you in the U.S. citizen line. You get to the immigration checkpoint within the U.S. citizen line, and then they will then take your beneficiary and put him or her in a room and do their processing and then let you in. No, relax. It's good. You don't have to go to separate immigration lines. Karina will be holding my hand, walking through the U.S. immigration, U.S. citizenship line, and then we will be separated by about 10 feet when she goes into this room and they ask her all her questions, and they open up her secret document file, which was, taped shut at the embassy in Bogota. James, I'm thinking California would be good since it's a sanctuary state and I can have her stay in the same state. James, you can go in you can fly into any airport you want in the United States. If your relationship is real and your fiance, doesn't suddenly turn around and tell the immigration guy, oh, by the way, I'm married. What? You're good. Relax, man. Relax. You're good. James Warren, super sticker. Thank you, James. I appreciate that very much. As you guys know, we do all this for free. I do all this for free. I gave up selling houses to put this YouTube channel together to help you guys and to help me and Karina pull you guys over the finish line to get your beneficiary to the United States. So James Wan, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it very much. I really do. I really do. It really helps out because time is precious. Time is money. But I feel that this project is more important than me making money selling houses right now. This is more important. Helping you guys is more important to me than making a buck selling a house. Okay, so that super sticker means a lot to me. So James, if you want to fly into LAX with your beneficiary, you go on ahead, but you're good, man. You're good. Remember, LAX, think about this. Think about this. There's probably 20 or 30 international flights a day or per hour, an hour landing at LAX. 30 international flights are all going to be landing at the same time at LAX from 30 different countries. Guess what? They all get off the plane at the same time at different gates. Guess what? You're going to be in line with 1,000 people from 30 different countries waiting for an immigration face-to-face interview with your beneficiary because you have to do a face-to-face interview with a K-1 visa when you at the port of entry. So if you fly through LAX, how many international flights land at LAX? A lot. I would fly into a small airport. Now we're going to fly into Miami because it's close. Miami, I'll probably have to put up with 5 or 10 international flights all landing at the same time from Honduras, from El Salvador, from Costa Rica, from Colombia, from Uruguay, from Peru, from Argentina, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to probably have a good 2-hour wait, maybe longer, going through the immigration checkpoint and then having to. So make sure you don't have a connecting flight. That's 2 hours from when you land. So if you're accompanying your beneficiary into the United States, Mr. Sponsor, which I hope you do, make sure you got at least a 10-hour window of time from when you land to your connecting flight. So, I don't want to have a connecting flight from Miami to Pensacola 2 hours after I land in Miami, because it's going to take 2 hours just to get through immigration. So I'm going to book a flight that arrives in Miami at 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning and leaves at 10 o'clock at night, the last flight out of Miami to Pensacola. So I got the whole day to get through the immigration process and also to go eat lunch. So, that's my plan. Susie, thank you for everything you do. Giving us all this information has really helped me through the process. Susie, we're glad. That's the most important thing, okay, is helping you guys. I know I've been there, done that. This is my second rodeo. It's not fun, and I'm going through it. This is my second time going through all this. So I have basically being beat down, kicked around, and stomped on by USCIS in a good way. So I know exactly how this process plays out. And I know you guys are going to get your visa if you're patient. You guys will be fine. Okay? Stay positive. Johnny Grandi is exactly right. Only positives. James 1. Okay, I'll accompany her. Yeah, man. You need to accompany her, but make sure that you spread out the time from when you land at, when I land in Miami with Karina in the morning, I'm going to have my connecting flight at the end of the day. So I got all that time to go through the immigration process. I don't want to be stressing out. Mr. Immigration Officer, can you hurry up, please? I've got a connecting flight I've got to get on. Do you know what the immigration officer, he's going to laugh at me. He's going to laugh at me. And then he may go low, he might just go slow to make me miss my connecting flight. No, he wouldn't do that. But do you understand my point? Make sure you got plenty of time between when you land with your beneficiary to check in, go through the immigration, and then get your connecting flight. If you got a 10-hour layover, oh, whoop-de-doo, but you're stress-free. Okay, Johnny Graham, Diego, my NOA-1 is May 18th, 2022. I'm really thinking it will be approved by the end of June. I'm thinking too also. I'm feeling good about being in California by the end of November. I'm thinking that too. It all depends on which embassy you have to schedule your beneficiary's visa appointment at. Every embassy in the world, 152 plus countries, every embassy is managed by an ambassador. An ambassador is in charge of his or her embassy. He runs it however he wants to run it. And then the State Department controls all the embassies. The 7th floor of the State Department in Washington, D.C. controls all the embassies in the world. And then the ambassadors control the embassies. So, the ambassador at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota could all of a sudden say, we're going to do K1 visa interviews on Thursdays. And that's it. That's his embassy. Okay? But I will say November is a positive vibe that will be doable before Christmas. It's really moving now. Yeah, cool. Yeah. We're in the second quarter. USCIS, okay, work in a fiscal year. We work in a calendar year. A fiscal year is October through September. So USCIS is in their second quarter. The new director of USCIS, a lovely lady, she told everybody, I read her email, she said that by October, K1 visas will be processed in 6 months. I'm beginning to believe her because in the last week, they're closing in on, our NOA-1 letters April. I got a feeling, I'm pretty sure our visa is going to be looked at the end of May, beginning of June, not August, so September. In the past, it was August, September, October. But I didn't pay attention to that stuff because I know from studying the immigration data and from reading all the notices and the news releases from the director of USCIS, I knew the process was going to speed up. So I had this brainwave idea to put this YouTube channel together for you guys to try to help you get through this process as easy as possible and as stress-free as possible. And I think it's accomplishing its goal. Okay, relax, guys. We're going to help you. And when Karina is here in the United States, we're going to get married on Navarre Beach. My friends all are looking forward to it. We'll continue with the channel to help people who are putting in their K1 visas now. We'll continue the channel. Now, it may not be every single day I'm putting a video together. I got to get back to my day job and start doing my day job. But I'll put videos together and do live streams, once a week, twice a week. I'll do live streams and continue helping people. It's important. This is an important channel, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hello, Diego. I want to ask you a question. What step of the process is your fiance in now? Okay, Junior Marrero. We received our NOA-1 letter, which means I didn't mess up the paperwork, for April 18th, 2022, which is 12 months ago this month. So on April 18th of 2023, this month, we would have been waiting 1 year for adjudication. Now, we are waiting for our NOA2 letter. Now, NOA means notice of action. Notice of action means immigration has made this decision, and this is the action they're going to take. The action will be three things. It will be either approved, it will be denied, or it will be request for further evidence. If they send me a letter of requesting further evidence because I messed up somewhere in the visa package or I forgot something, which is highly unlikely, but if I did, I will respond to the RFE and I will send them the stuff they're asking for, kick back, continue making videos for you guys, and wait for the approval of the visa. Or I'll get an approval, NOA2 letter, your visa has been approved, Diego, and then I will then wait a month because the National Visa Center is going to probably take USCIS a month to send it to the National Visa Center. I'll wait a month here in Florida, then I'll jump on a plane to Bogota, and then I'll probably get the welcome letter from the National Visa Center saying, okay, here's your case number. Now you got to wait for a spot to schedule an interview at the embassy in Bogota. Well, I'll be in Bogota. I'm 20 minutes from the U.S. Embassy where I live in Bogota. So if they want to give me a hard time, I jump on the bus or jump in a taxi and go to the embassy, show the guard my passport, knock on the door and say, hey, Mr. Immigration Officer, can we chat? That's what I'm going to do. Okay, respectfully. You got to be respectful to these people. They have a tough job, guys. Let's see here. So where am I at, Junior? I am waiting for NOA2 letter. And I probably will get that end of May, beginning of June. Manila Embassy, okay. The embassy in Manila, so your fiance will go to Luke Hospital for her medical exam. Luke Hospital is where all K1 visa folks get their medical exams done. And it's a smooth process. Manila Embassy is a smooth process. You'll be fine. Piece of cake. I made the mistake of submitting the K1 visa, but regretted it. 6 months had already passed, and I thought it was better to leave the process. No, it's not a mistake. There is no error in what you did. You love your fiance. You want to marry her. You want to bring her to the United States and start your life. That's not an error. That's a wonderful thing that you did. That's a fantastic thing that you did. And Karina and I will help you through this process as best as we can. We'll help you, okay? Don't think negatively. Sergio E. Leon. Sergio E. Leon. Yeah, I like that name. That's a very cool name. Hi, Diego. Do you think it is bad if I were to follow up with USCIS before the 12-month time frame? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing, but immigration is going to ignore you. They're not going to respond to you. They'll just say you're not within the time frame. Diego, you really found your purpose. Congratulations. Well, I appreciate my purpose in life. At my age, I've retired from the Navy. I worked for Mercedes-Benz. I retired from Mercedes-Benz. I did a stint running for political office. That was just an experience. I don't think I want to repeat that. And then I went to real estate school and got my real estate license because I'm not as they say in South America, flojo, which means lazy. I cannot be sitting around doing nothing. So I went to real estate school, got my real estate license, and then I decided, I think it'd be nice to find a fiance and start a new life with a new lady. And I found beautiful Karina from Venezuela living in Colombia. So I flew to Colombia, and my vacation was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, but I stayed for 5 weeks. And then I got back to the United States, and I couldn't stand to be away from her. So I flew back to Colombia and stayed with her for 5 months. I got her out of her small apartment and put her into a big apartment, put my name on that. And, I got all the receipts, put my name on the rent receipts. And then after 5 months, I said, okay, let me get a visa to live in Colombia for a year, because I know this is going to be a long process. The Colombian government gave me permission to live in Colombia for a year. That visa expired, so I flew back to the United States, and now I'm allowed back in Colombia for 6 months out of the year. So you know, my purpose in life now is to put this YouTube channel together to help you guys get through this process, because I know what it's like to get beat over the head with a baseball bat by immigration. I've been there and I've done that. I've been in that position and overcame it. Never be a victim, always be a winner. I got back on my feet, found a new beautiful fiance, and I'm as happy as a lamb. And now I want to share my knowledge. I want to share all this information that I got up here for you. So now you don't have to spend $4,000 on an immigration attorney, and you know, you can, like the young man who sent me a super chat. That's a whole lot cheaper than $4,000 for an immigration attorney, I tell you. And we appreciate the super chat. Okay, let's see here. So I've retired from the Navy, retired from selling Mercedes. Now I'm a real estate agent. So, boom, keep going on. Life continues. So do I think it's bad to follow up with USCIS before the 12 months? No, it's not bad. Just don't waste your time. It's a waste of time. Immigration's too busy. They won't respond. Lealtad y respeto. A mí gusta tu nombre. Este nombre muy rico. A mí gusta tu nombre. Lealtad. Diego, many people, because they see that USCIS website says 16, they get confused. It is 13 to 14 months. That are proven cases. When do the months begin to drop on the website? Okay, I do not think USCIS is going to drop the month on the website from 16.5 months to 14 months. Because if they do that, then people are going to fall into the window where they can call USCIS a lot quicker, and they're going to be on the phone, blowing up the phone at USCIS. If USCIS keep the window at 16.5 months, that blocks out the time when you can call, which gives them a break from answering phone calls, and they can focus on processing visas. Let's see. So, no, they're not going to change it from 16.5 to 15 months. They might do that in 2024 in the new fiscal year, but right now, no. When they get all this backlog caught up and done and in the pipeline and everybody in the United States, then they may do that. Johnny Grand 67, do you think you could do a video of interview wait times for Manila Embassy? Yeah, sure, I can do it. But you got to remember the wait times at the U.S. Embassy in Manila change from month to month. It depends on the workload, okay? In May, the U.S. Embassy in May, which is the hottest month of the year in the Philippines, is when they're the busiest. So if you're trying to schedule a visa interview in May, it's very difficult because it's so busy. But January and February is hardly anything going on. So yeah, I can do the video, but it's really not going to really help too much. Sergio, do you happen to know the current wait time for the embassy in Honduras to issue an interview? Yeah, it's between 4 and 6 weeks. Yeah, well, at first it's got to go from USCIS to the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center creates a case number. Then they fly it by DHL courier to the U.S. Embassy in Honduras. And it's not a very long wait time in Honduras. I've seen 3 K1 visas get approved in the last month in Honduras. Okay. Junior, yes, Diego, but it takes as long yeah. Okay. An I-130 petition and an I-129F, okay, are the same time frame. They take just as long. The only thing is an I-129F is a little more expensive because you got to pay for the green card when you get to the United States, when you adjust the status. And with an I-130, your green card is issued by the embassy, okay? So there's a big difference, but the wait times, there's no difference. But the thing with an I-130 is you have to upload documents to the MVC. I've been through this before, and it was a nightmare. A nightmare. Okay, I filed for an I-130 visa, got it approved, and then the MVC sent me a welcome letter, and then I spent 9 months trying to upload documents to the MVC during COVID years ago. 3 years passed. It was a nightmare. Okay, but with a K1 visa, USCIS look at your K1 visa package. They look at it. They okay, this is good. They send it to the MVC. The MVC get it. They look at it. This is good. They assign a case number. They mail it to the embassy. The embassy gets it. They look at it. You fill out a DS-160, pay your visa fee, upload your photo, go to a face-to-face, and your visa is in your passport. But if you're going through an I-130 process with a marriage visa, when it gets to the MVC, you have to upload your birth certificates, your translated documents, your police certificates. You have to upload all these documents to the National Visa Center. Now, let's suppose you upload your police certificate to the MVC. You upload it, and it's skewed just a little bit to the left, and they can't quite read it. Guess what? They'll send you an email, and they'll say, oh, I can't read this. You need to re-upload it. And then you have to wait 3 months for them to look at your visa package again. So let's suppose you're going through an I-130 visa packet, I-130 visa, and you upload a document to the MVC and you make a mistake. You got to wait 3 months before they'll look at your visa package again. Then you then you can start uploading again. You upload another document. Oh, we can't read the passport. It's not clear enough. Guess what? You got to wait another 3 months. I went through this nightmare in the past, and K1 visa all the way, baby. It's easy. USCIS, MVC, embassy, done. Boom. Let's see. So be glad you filed the K1 visa. Let's see. Okay, Junior, be glad you filed a K1 visa. Trust me on this one. Junior, I start my process of the K1 on June 2022, and on that time, the processing time was 13.5. Okay, disregard looking at the USCIS website time frame. Visas are getting approved between 13 and 14 months. Okay, hang in there, my friend. Sergio, the amount of documents needed for the I-30 is a lot more. It's complex. It's complex. You are absolutely right, Sergio. It is a nightmare. I will never. Karina asked me, she said, hey, why don't we just get married in Colombia and then you file this other visa? I said, no, it's a nightmare. I'm filing a K1 visa because it's 3 easy. It's a difference between putting a jigsaw puzzle together with 10,000 pieces or putting a jigsaw together with 10 pieces. I'm going to stick with the 10 pieces and get the visa. And then I'll do the paperwork for the adjustment of status with Karina here in Florida with me in the house. I don't mind waiting for a green card. It's no big deal. Let's see. So, Sergio, you're absolutely right. Hello, Diego. Thank you for all the information. Earlier today, I commented asking how you've been getting the information about the cases. I go to USCIS. There's also a person that emails me the information from USCIS, and I'm not going to put his name out publicly on YouTube, because he's a source of information I don't want to lose. Sure, please do a full explanation about the I-134 and the tax transcripts. Okay, I did that. I've made a video about it. Yeah, I've probably made 400 plus videos. I made a video about it, but I'll send it to you. Let's see, what else did you ask me? Now, the tax transcripts. The tax transcripts are very, 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 very easy, okay? 5 days ago, I called the IRS on this 800 number. If you got a pen, I'll tell you what the 800 number is. Okay, now, I called the IRS, okay? And let me see if I can find it. And you don't have to talk to a human being. It's not like you talking to somebody. They'll ask you, what do you want to do? Well, I want my tax transcripts for 2020. I type in my social security number. Oh, I'm calling the IRS. I don't want to do that. Let me see. Let me get the number. So you call the number. It's 1-800-829-1040. 1-800-829-1040. Call that number. They're going to ask you, it's going to be a prompt, a computer. What do you want to do? I want my tax transcripts. Okay, I think it's number 3. Press number 3. Then you punch in your social security number, and they're going to say, what year tax transcripts do you want? I typed in 2020, and then hit pound. Then they said, do you want any more tax transcripts? I said, yeah, I want 2021, 2021, pound. Today, I checked the mail, and there were 2 letters from the IRS with my tax transcripts. Now, I just paid my 2022 taxes. I'll wait till April. I don't want to give the government money unless I have to. So now I have to wait another month, and I'll call them again, 1-800-829-1040. I'll call them again, go through the prompts, and then I'll put in there 2022. Boom, pound, and then they'll mail me my tax transcripts for 2022. It's so easy. It's very easy. Okay, that's the phone number to the IRS. Okay, thank you again. Let's see here. So I'll do another email. I'll do another video on the I-134. In fact, what I'll do when I get to Colombia, when I'm in Bogota, Colombia, when RNOA2 comes in, and I'm in Colombia, and I'm filling out my I-134. I'll do it for you guys live in a live stream and go through it. It's easy. It's very easy. This whole process is easy. The hard part is the waiting. Okay, and then immigration attorneys try to make it difficult. Oh, it's complicated. Ooh, all this paperwork so hard. No, it's not. They want you to pay them so that they'll fill out the paperwork for you. I don't want an immigration attorney touching my K-1 visa paperwork. It's my business, okay? It's not hard to do. It's 13 pages of paperwork, and it's basic 5th grade stuff, okay? Thank you again for your excellent information. I have a question in your earlier video of a couple of days ago. You were given timelines for K-1 visa approvals. You also mentioned a number. I don't remember the number, phone number. I'm not sure, K-Messenger, but I'd be glad to answer your question. Be more specific. What does the number mean? I don't remember. It could have been the phone number to the IRS. It could have been the months that we have to wait. I don't know. Have you heard anything about Iranian K-1 visa? Are they likely for more administrative processing due to relations with our government? No. If you are an Iranian, and you are married and you are engaged to an American citizen, the U.S. government, I'm sure, has absolute faith in the U.S. citizens' reasoning and decision-making process, but the U.S. government does not have any relations with the Iranian government. So if you are an Iranian waiting on a K-1 visa, you're probably living in a country like Armenia, or you're living in Turkey, or you're living in a country that is not in Iran. Okay? Personally, I got no problem with the people from Iran. They're good people. The problem isn't the people. The problem is the government. Okay? Just like everywhere else. It's always usually the government that's the problem, not the people. The Iranians are wonderful people. In fact, I remember back in the 70s, Iran, it was a place to go on vacation, but not anymore. Okay. To our Iranian friends who are living outside of Iran, we wish you well. Like a case number, 6-digit number, case number. Okay, K-Messenger. A case number is assigned by USCIS to an NOA1 letter, which is what the number that you use to look up your case so you can get status on it. I think that's what you mean. Diego, what you need the transcript letter? Okay, the IRS will send you a tax transcript. You need the tax transcript to bring to the embassy interview for proof of income. Now, in the past, all you had to do was provide your 1040. You fill out your 1040, IRS form 1040, your W-2, your 1099. Now, I don't have W-2s. Well, I did, but now I have 1099s. And in the past, when I did a K1 visa, all I did was show my 1040. But now you have to, it depends on the embassy. The ambassadors control the embassy. The embassy in Bogota may not need the transcript, but the embassy in Ecuador may need the tax transcript. I'm not taking the chance. Karina is going to her K1 visa interview with tax transcripts, my 1040s, and my 1099s all together. Totally. Mr. Joe Man 95, thank you for what you do, Diego. Thank you, Mr. Joe Man, for your kind words. Thank you. We're going to get you through this immigration nightmare. And it's only a nightmare if you let immigration take up rent in your head and if you stress it out. Don't stress it out, guys. Trust me, okay? The first time I went through this process, it was like I aged. I got gray hairs. This time around, I'm not going to get gray hairs. I don't have any hairs. I shaved it off. It's not difficult. And the result's going to be a win. Sergio, do you think USCIS will be able to meet the 6-month processing time by the end of 2023? I believe they'll be at 8 months. 6 months is pushing it. But 8 months, I will probably safely say yes. 8 months. But let's hope for 6 months. If the director of USCIS says 6 months, then maybe she knows something I don't know because she's the boss running USCIS, and maybe she's got some stuff up her sleeve that we don't know about yet. So it could be. Mr. Joe Man 95, is Bogota safe when you visit? Bogota, my friend, is like being in any city in the United States. And guess who's texting me? It's Karina. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can bring Karina in on this live chat. Now, Bogota is a beautiful city of 10 million people, okay? And it is a safe city. I've been to Colombia about 20 times. I've been living in Bogota, Colombia over the last 2 years, a year and a half. Guess who's calling me? It's Karina. Hold on a second. We're going to say hi to Karina. Hola, mi amor. Joe Livestream, mi amor. There's Karina. Oh, she was in bed. Uh-oh. But she was decent. She'll call me back later. No, Bogota's safe, guys. Everything's good. Did you see Karina's eyes? They were like plates. Woo! Oh my gosh. Diego's on the live stream. Yeah, then that number is a range number. You mentioned the number right after the number of days for NOA2. Okay, the range number. Now, USCIS puts together a range number. I have no clue what a range number is. I see it in these USCIS letters that I'm getting. The information I'm getting, range number. What the heck is it? I'm thinking, is this a place where buffalo roam? I don't know. It's not important to me. What's important to me is the time between NOA1, NOA2, the time between NOA2 and the MVC, and the time between the MVC and the embassy. That's it. Karina said, I'm sorry. Let me know when you're finished. No, she's such a sweetheart. I can't wait for you guys to meet Karina in a live stream. Tell me encanta la forma que me miras. Okay, Mr. Joe Man, no problem. Es bien. Yo entiendo. Yo hablo español. Mr. Joe Man 95, your Spanish is perfect. Fantastic. Yeah, I look forward to Bogota. I love being in Bogota. Karina and I, when we're in Colombia, we don't need a car. So we jump on a bus, the Transmilenio. The bus station is right outside of our apartment. We live on the top floor. It's like 4 stories up. We go down the 4 flights of stairs. We jump on the bus and we go downtown central Bogota. We go to the museums. We go to the restaurants. And you got to be able to have you got to be able to speak Spanish if you want to be able to survive in Bogota. If you don't speak Spanish, you're going to have a difficult time. And, just follow some safety precautions. You don't want to be waving your cell phone around like this in the street because somebody on a bike might go by and just snatch it out of your hand. It's just petty crime, stupid stuff. Okay. But Bogota is great. Yeah, that range number, I don't know what that is, you know. I got, honestly, to me, a range number is totally unimportant. It's unimportant. What's important is your K1 visa and your beneficiary's passport. That's what's important. And the time it gets to that point from your NOA1 letter to your embassy interview, that's the important time. Range numbers, irrelevant. I'm sure it means something to somebody, but to me, I don't pay attention to it. Any more questions, guys? And you know, I know it's Easter Friday. I want to wish you all happy Easter. Jesus Carreno. Diego, if I got my NOA 1 in October 2022, when do you think I will be receiving NOA 2? According to the range time, the processing time was back in that day. Okay, well then probably this week. You're overdue. October, oh, wait a second, October 2022, October 2023. So you got a ways to go there, Jesus. You still got a ways to go, my friend. Thank you. I agree. I was trying to tie that number to my case number. No, K Messenger, don't, that range number, tie it to a fence post outside, okay? Just ignore it. Focus on your NOA 2 letter time frame, NOA 1, NOA 2. When you get it is when you get it, right? And you can't make it go faster. Immigration attorneys can't make it go faster. There's no such thing as a rapid visa. Visa companies cannot process your visa any faster. You can hire the #1 immigration attorney in the country, pay him a ton of money. Your visa will not go any faster. Trust in yourself. Be confident in yourself. Thank you. I agree. Yeah. Anonymous artist. Any plans on trying to bring her relatives to the U.S.? My fiance's brother wants to help him come, but my fiance thinks it'd be too difficult. No, there's no problem with that. You know, Karina's mom lives in Venezuela. Karina has 5 brothers. They all live in Colombia. Karina has nieces and nephews, 5. She has a brother who lives in Brazil, who was living in Chile. Karina has family all over South America, and she has her uncle and her mom and her other brother that live in Venezuela. Now, Venezuela is a very difficult country to live in right now. I would love to go to Venezuela on vacation with Karina and spend my US dollars in Caracas, but the Venezuelan government is difficult to work with. And I don't want to end up in some prison because I was served in the U.S. Navy for 20 years. So I would probably be very, very beneficial to the Venezuelan government. So I have no intention of going to Venezuela. So it creates family separation. But, you know, a plan that we could do is, you know, when Karina, I told Karina, focus on becoming a U.S. citizen. Focus on one family member at a time. Karina is going to be my wife. We're going to get married on Navarre Beach. And I'm focusing on her right now, not her family. We are focusing on Karina. She is my #1, primero, numero uno. When she becomes a U.S. citizen, then we'll take a look at maybe bringing her mother here, okay? But her brothers are quite happy being in Bogota, Colombia. There's no difference between being in Bogota, Colombia and being in New York City, except in New York City, there's not as many people speaking Spanish as there are in Bogota. They're 2 big cities. Karina's family is very happy in South America. There are about 3 million Venezuelans that left Venezuela, doctors, dentists, engineers, airline pilots. They all left Venezuela and moved to Colombia or South America. You know, they like to be able to put gas in their car and put food on the table and feed their families, which is a difficult thing to do in Venezuela right now because of the way the government runs their economy. You know, I'm not bashing anybody in South America. I love Venezuela. I love the people. I don't like the government, but I love the people. And the people suffer, right? The people suffer. So in regards to Karina's family, they're going to stay in Colombia. And my focus is on getting her U.S. citizenship and teaching her English. She's doing pretty good. Mr. Joeman 95, have a good night. I'm going back to work. I'm going to log off here in a minute too. Karina wants to chat with me from Bogota, Colombia. Thank you very much, Diego. Have a great Easter. Messenger, same to you. And oh yeah, no problem. It was a great honor serving in the United States Navy. I work for one of the biggest corporate immigration firms in the U.S., and even then, we sometimes get RFEs, administrative processing and denials on petitions. Yeah, immigration attorneys. Okay, USCIS have set rules, and it doesn't matter if you're an immigration attorney or if you are the director of USCIS, or if you are a U.S. senator, or if you are the president of the United States. There are rules set in place by USCIS, by Congress, that USCIS must follow. So immigration attorneys have to follow congressional law just as does USCIS. So in my opinion, I've never once used an attorney to help me through this process. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give Karina her best wishes from Susie Galdamez. I'll give Karina, everybody, from Susie, your best wishes, Susie. Good night, Greg. With Kamani, let's connect via Facebook or email, no problem. My Facebook is Jeff Diego Ross, Geoff, Diego Ross. Buenas noches, Sergio. Buenas noches. Gracias para tu muchas preguntas. A me gusta. No olvide, domingo, 5 p.m., domingo, yo aquí repite. On Sunday at 5 o'clock, I will be here doing another live stream. I just did this one because lots of people had lots of questions. And to those folks that gave super chats, thank you so much. It really makes me feel good that you guys appreciate the effort that we're putting in here, because the bottom line is I want to see you guys get to the United States and enjoy this life that we have here. Okay, guys, it's time for me to say goodnight. Thanks for all your questions, guys. I appreciate it. I've been talking for an hour and 31 minutes. If I publish this for on the YouTube channel, I don't know if anybody's got time to sit and watch it, but we'll publish it anyway. Good night, everybody. Time for me to chat with Karina. She's anxiously waiting to hear from me. Good night, guys.